Welcome back on this January the 25th, 2000. It is Tuesday morning, and it is a snowy Tuesday morning. We have not seen snow like this, actually, since the blizzard of '96. We are expecting perhaps up to 12 inches of snow throughout our region. Philadelphia public parochial schools are closed, as well as virtually every other school in the region, all because of the snow and the accumulation that we are actually expecting throughout the rest of the day.
And this storm coming is such a surprise to many people who followed the forecast through much of the night. But as Carol had told us yesterday, you needed to be keeping track every hour, literally, on this storm, because it made one decision, and that brought it closer to us. Heavier snow accumulations in the city, north and west, than we ever expected at this time yesterday.
And that dark figure you saw was one of our staffers outside smoking. That was just not the condensation from his breath. What are we looking at here? Oh, that's the ocean. It's Ocean City. Again, such accumulation that not as much accumulation at the shore as what we had actually expected yesterday. But again, near blizzard conditions, and the thing that's going to be the problem as the day progresses also, especially at the shore, is going to be the wind conditions. Winds are expected to gust up to 60 miles an hour. You know, we saw down in Raleigh, North Carolina, a storm that is having about 20 inches of accumulation. I mean, and that is real significant snow for the south.
And Carol saying the same system is what is coming our way. That's a shot from the roof of our building here at 5th and Market, looking up Market Street. And the snow covering the streets, the sidewalks, very little traffic moving. And we have seen that consistent throughout the morning. It seems as Marge Palla recommended, everyone use their personal day. It seems a lot of people are taking that into consideration. Hundreds and hundreds of schools are closed. We're running them for you in alphabetical order across the bottom of your screen. All Philadelphia public and parochial schools closed today, so there are tens of thousands of children with this day off, and if the winds die down, it will be a great day to get outside and do some sledding for your kids today.
All right, we're going to go back to Essington now, and Eyewitness News reporter Dick Sanders, who's been out at his spot since about 4 o'clock this morning. Dick?
Morning.
Morning, Pat and Amy. It is, as you've been making clear to people, a brutal one out here. Whoa. Feel that coming along here. A couple of quick thoughts for you. Obviously, if you're driving and low visibility, you have to be very, very careful. Another key question here, though, is be prepared for problems. Physically, winter clothing. Be ready. Be ready to be stranded. Hope it doesn't happen, obviously, but something as simple as waiting for the R5. You could easily be out there, especially if you're waiting on the platforms in Ardmore, Narberth, Overbrook, the ones closer into the city. You know what we've seen in the past in emergency situations? Suddenly, a loaded train will be literally loaded and go right past you. They'll be running late and run right past you. Not to say it's happened yet this morning, but that is to say that on this kind of a morning, that's the sort of thing you prepare for. Another thought, jumping back to past storms. Every so often, there will be somebody with a new snowblower, hasn't had a snowblower before. They're not used to working with it. It gets jammed, and put the fingers inside and they have a problem. That is the story live for the moment from Essington, 291. Dick Sanders, KYW 3, Eyewitness News.
All right, Dick, thanks very much. Up the road from Dick, the Philadelphia International Airport, it is open, but U.S. Airways has canceled all of its flights through at least 11 o'clock. The way it looks, could very well be later than that.
That could extend into the afternoon. They are plowing the runways and that kind of thing, but obviously it's a big mess there. And we have some SEPTA notes for you. We want to tell you the R6 regional rail line, no service at all right now. The R5 Lansdale Doylestown, 25-minute delays. All of the other regional rails looking at 5 to 10-minute delays at least, although if you're going to go ahead and compare that to what's happening on 95, the Schuylkill to Blue Route, even a delayed train may be your best bet than trying to suffer through this mess into work this morning. And as we've heard from Frank Graff from PennDOT, it looks like your trip home is actually going to be the most challenging once you even get in this morning.
Also, we want to point out to you, too, if you live in the area of Roxborough, you know this. A little bit of snow, a little bit of ice can create a big problem on the hills of Roxborough. But right now, because of this snow, there is no service at all on the Route 35 line in the area of Roxborough-Manayunk. Patco is running on time. Dart and New Jersey is also running very delayed this morning. Now we're going to go, speaking of New Jersey, out to Washington Township, and that's where Robin Rieger has been on duty. Rob?
Good morning, Pat. Things are still pretty much the same here as they have been all morning. The snow's still blowing. Since daylight now, we can see the effect of the storm so far. Take a look at the Black Horse Pike. This is just south of the 42 freeway coming into Washington Township. On the other side of the road, you can see northbound traffic. People are slowing down a bit. They could be slowing down a little bit more heading out to work today. They're going to find on the freeway just 2 lanes of traffic. And Belmar State Police are telling us at the barracks there that they are answering many, many calls on the 42 freeway for broken down vehicles and people who have just pulled off to the side of the road either because their car broke down or there is very poor visibility. So give yourself some extra space and extra time as you're out there on the roadways. Much of the roadways here in Washington Township and every other community in South Jersey snow covered. We've seen the plows going by several times, but you can see on the pike there's still plenty of snow out there, making driving very, very difficult. Even if you have a four-wheel drive vehicle, it is not that much easier because of the amount of snow. I would venture to guess at this point maybe 6 inches or so falling here in the South Jersey region since about 3:45 this morning. And again, with all of the snow blowing around here, making conditions very, very difficult to maneuver in. If you have that personal day, everybody is quoting Marcella. Stay home. Good idea, Marge. That was a good call from Marcella this morning. Of course, we wouldn't want to stay home because it's fun being out in the snow. I am actually enjoying this. I like this kind of weather. But you may not be. If you can stay home today, be home with your kids, take them sled riding, enjoy a nice movie, hot chocolate, whatever. I know my nieces and nephews are planning on having a good snow day home from school, so I hope they have a good time. For now, that's the story live in Washington Township. I'm Robin Reeder, KYW3 Eyewitness News.
Yeah, if you don't have any place to go, it really is a great day to be able to stay inside. Now, there are a lot of people who are not going to venture out on the roads with their own cars. They really are going to rely on SEPTA and also other public transit systems throughout the region. We do have a travel number for you to call if you need to know special information if you are interested in riding one of the SEPTA lines. The Travel Information Center is at 215-580-7800. The number once again, 215-580-7800, and you'll be able to get the information you need to know about what routes are open or closed. And you can expect, though, that they would not be running on time. So if you have to go out and you wait at a bus stop, you want to make sure that you are well bundled up.
Indeed. We've talked this morning about the airport. The airport is open, but there are plenty of delays. U.S. Airways arriving flights canceled until 11 this morning. We want to turn our attention to Amtrak because the Amtrak train lines going up and down the Northeast Corridor, a lot of them going into Carolina, which got this storm yesterday. Joining us live now on the Newsline to talk to us about any delays Amtrak might be experiencing is spokesperson Rick Remington. Morning, Rick.
Morning.
What's happening?
So far, all Amtrak trains are running on the Northeast Corridor. There are minimal delays, but as the storm tracks north, we will be monitoring it to determine what level of service we're going to be able to maintain throughout the day.
Rick, explain to us about track maintenance in a storm like this. I mean, should we be concerned if, in fact, we're getting on a train and we're anticipating that there's going to be another 4, 5, 6 inches of snow?
We have track maintenance crews up and down the Northeast Corridor who are particularly looking at switches to keep switches open so that they don't get clogged with snow. And we also have diesel locomotives in reserve if they need to go get a train that may be stalled.
And what about the situation coming from the south? Are you finding that the trains are actually able to get through? Because there has been some serious problem in the area south of us.
So far, actually, we've heard very little reports of delays of trains coming up from Florida and the Carolinas.
Okay, Rick Remington joining us live on the Newsline from Amtrak. Everything on schedule right now. Of course, we'll be following that throughout the day. Things that aren't scheduled are most of your community events that were scheduled for today or tonight, or possible some businesses are opening late as a result of this. We want to go live upstairs to our newsroom. KYW News Radio's Ed Abrams has got the lowdown. Hi, Ed.
Hi, Amy. Hi, Pat. And consider these the official excuses, I guess, for those folks Robin was talking to a little while ago. Superior Court in New Jersey in Camden County has canceled court sessions today. All jurors, litigants, and court employees should stay home. We received word a short time ago that Philadelphia municipal courts are also closed today. Gloucester County Courthouse is closed today. Chester County Courthouse and government offices are closed today. McGuire Air Force Base is under Phase B operations. Admission personnel are to report. Willow Grove Air Reserve Station is closed for all non-emergency employees. Camden County Library, all the branches are closed. Independence National Historical Park, that you're looking at right now, closed today. Camden City YMCA, the building is closed. All preschool programs are canceled today. And the Philadelphia Zoo is closed today. Channel 3 will have more throughout the morning on this. And, of course, for the latest on those school numbers, nearly 1,000 of them this morning Stay with KYW News Radio 1060. Pat and Amy?
Have room for nothing else. Ed Abrams, thank you very much. Thanks, Ed. Where are we going now?
Actually, what we want to do
Bob
right
Kelly.
now is talk to Bob Kelly in
That's right.
the Traffic and Transit Center, because he's busy. He's almost as busy as Carol Erickson this morning. Hey, Bob.
Hi, Bob.
Pat and Amy, good morning once again. It's going to be a long trek. Use that one of those personal days if you could today. That would be my tip for the morning. Here's a look at 95. Headlights coming at you, approaching the Bridge Street interchange slowly, about 5 miles an hour, making your way into Center City. Now, 95 all throughout the stretch that goes between Woodhaven and the airport. Numerous accidents to report. This just in an Upper Gwinnett, a snow emergency. All vehicles must be removed from the street so they can get the plows in there. And speaking of the plows, they're out there doing a great job. PennDOT really got a jump on it. It caught us all by surprise, but they have to pass along. Give the snow plows a chance to do their job. Try to give them room. Try not to pass them. Definitely not a day in which we're going to be able to salt the highway. We have to plow it. Schuylkill, snow covered from 202 down to the Walt Whitman. Also a number of accidents, stuck vehicles sprinkled throughout the mix there. And the westbound Schuylkill, on the hill near the Blue Route, we have 2 disabled tractor trailers causing a delay. 42 freeway in New Jersey, snow covered, only 2 lanes available. On 55, the ramp to 322 westbound, a jackknife tractor trailer causing for delays there. And on the bridges, the Ben Franklin, Walt Whitman, we got it down to 25 miles an hour on the speed. Gusty winds. It's definitely 2 hands on the steering wheel as it was this morning when I came over that. Regional rails, minor delays. We'll keep you up to date all morning long. I'm Bob Kelly, and that's the latest from the KYW Traffic Center.
All right, Bob, thank you very much. And as Amy said, the other person very busy this morning, Carol Erickson. Oh, wow, what a storm, Carol. Oh, boy, it certainly is. I've got a couple of cameras that I'd like to show you because I think they can be pretty eloquent. First, we'll show you our Center City camera. 5th and Market, you can imagine what it would look like on a normal day, rush hour. Approaching the 8 o'clock hour. This is how it looks today. A lot of snow out there. We've received 5 inches of snow out at the airport, and that in a couple of hours. So we're seeing snowfall rates of 1 to 3 inches an hour. Take a look at the shore. That is Ocean City. Look at that angry ocean. There is a coastal flood warning in effect all along the shore. The high tides along the shore, roughly between about 11 o'clock this morning. So obviously pay particular attention down there. Also, some of that ocean water is going to be causing considerable beach erosion today, and a little bit of sleet and light rain and even some freezing rain mixing in. But right now, a dry slot is through that area, and you can see that pretty clearly. It does not look like much is happening in the way of anything coming down. Let me say where we've got temperatures except right along the shore in the 20s, and let me show you exactly where you're seeing the heaviest snow. It basically goes from the Trenton to Dover line. You go north and west of this line, and you are looking at the heaviest amounts. Is it possible out in some sections of Montgomery County that you could be seeing up to 12 to maybe 18 inches of snow? Yes, absolutely. Now, we take a look at the wind gusts. Amy and Pat are fainting over at the desk right now. Our wind gusts are in the 30-some-odd mile an hour range, but along the shore later today, they could be getting up to 60 miles an hour as this storm system moves closer to us. Wind chill obviously is significant. Hopefully, you and your pets are not outside in this. -4 degrees is the wind chill right now. Take a look on our Super Doppler, and you will see right here, notice this dry slot. They're having a party because of this right along the shore, but the storm system isn't here, so that dry slot will work up a little bit. But even so, we've got more of a storm coming behind this system, and you can see that it is a considerable storm that is working in our direction, and we are looking for maybe a little bit of sleet to work in here as well as some of those winds come in off the ocean and come in our direction. But we got 10 inches or so of snow, and we'll see whether we update that amount as we go through. It doesn't look, though, however, that this storm is going to stall. It looks like it will keep moving, but even so, a lot of moisture, a lot of cold. As you know, a lot of snow and shoveling. And she said up to 18 inches, depending on where it is.
12 to 18 inches. I'm not talking to her anymore today.
Now we're going to go to Walt Hunter, who is out on Westchester Pike in Upper Darby. Once he gave his daughter back her roller, he decided to go out on the road. Hey, Walt.
I kept it. She's never going to forgive me. We're looking. I have it. Take a look at how much snow we have here. Here's the official Channel 3 snow gauge. We're going down there, and, yep, that's about 4.5 inches, give or take, here in Upper Darby. We're on Westchester Pike, a couple miles west of 69th Street. Take a look down Westchester Pike over here with me now. You can see the road conditions. We're coming up the hill here westbound. It is totally snow-covered. The big problem, as we mentioned earlier, and as you've been mentioning, is the visibility. With the huge flakes, with the high winds, it is really, really difficult to see. And these big flakes are also coating windshields. That's making it even tougher. So normally you just turn on your windshield wipers. That's not happening this morning. The windshields are freezing, and that's making for some very dangerous driving. You can see some folks going in on foot there, trying to make it across Westchester Pike. There's a woman in the medial divider. She's given it a good attempt. She just made it over to the Wawa store here, and she's making her way back. Really, that's the only way to travel this morning as you see these intrepid storm goers. Keep your eye out for pedestrians like this, by the way, as you look at Westchester Pike looking west from 69th Street. A lot of folks on foot this morning, and there's a dangerous interaction of the cars and the pedestrians. It's making for some really, really tough going. Those folks are doing well. They've got their groceries. They're headed on their way back over to their homes, and we've got a couple of hearty storm goers here this morning. Barbara Murray, you had plans? Nice to meet you. Here's my ruler. Just going to say to you, you had big plans for today at Harrisburg.
We're going to Harrisburg today because I'm running for a delegate to the Republican convention in August, and I don't think we'll be able to get there with our petitions today.
Doesn't look good at this point.
Not at all.
It's going to be a lot warmer when the convention hits. I'm sure you'll be a lot more comfortable. How did you find the conditions out here making your way over to the store?
It was pretty rough. Fortunately, I work for the University of Pennsylvania, so they closed down today, and they rarely ever close, so it means it's pretty bad if they did close.
Absolutely. I want to wish you well. Good luck with the convention. And coming over to Yvonne, who is the manager of the Wawa here, who is taking very good care of us this morning. What have your customers been saying to you in the early going as they come in covered with snow?
Thank God you had milk. Coffee.
Everybody warming up this morning.
Yes.
How was the early going? You had to be out pretty early to get over here. What did you find?
Yeah, coming up this hill right here, it was like the bus was sliding sideways, and it barely made it, but it got up it.
You're going to have I was going to say, you're going to have a long, tough day here.
Yes, I might be stuck here.
We could all be here for a long time. Go ahead and get one. Thanks, Yvonne. So, live on Westchester Pike again in Upper Darby, folks crowding in, trying to get their morning supplies, their morning milk and coffee, everybody on foot. The traveling extremely dangerous here and in the western suburbs. We'll be back here live with updates throughout the morning here in Channel 3. For now, live in Upper Darby, Walt Hunter, KYW3 Eyewitness News.
And Walt, armed with his trusty ruler from his daughter.
Quite a jolly crew there out in Upper Darby. I think he's going to have a fine morning.
Yeah, as long as they have coffee and hot chocolate, they're really in good shape. We're going to have more of our special coverage when we continue in just a moment.
When winter weather strikes, count on KYW for the most comprehensive school closings, traffic, and weather information. For over 30 years, schools and parents have trusted KYW News Radio. Now a new partnership with Eyewitness News puts the most up-to-the-minute information at your fingertips on television, radio, and the Internet. Plus, this exclusive phone number, school closing information you need when you need it. When the weather gets rough, count on KYW3 Eyewitness News starting at 5 a.m.